Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Locker Room with Skyhawks Men's Soccer. Today we've got a special edition. We're out here on beautiful Dirks Field with some great weather. Joining us today, head coach Dave Oberholtzer and freshman defender Mathias Valverde. Coach, opened up conference play last week. Obviously Friday night, maybe not the weather that we wanted. Everyone was kind of hanging out for quite a while, but finally got to jump into some action on Sunday. What are your thoughts about kind of the opening 120 minutes of conference play?
Yeah, Friday against Colorado Christian was obviously an interesting one with the weather delays and everything, but really we had about 50 minutes of play, and after 50 minutes, the guys were up 3-0 and pretty dominant in the 50 minutes that we got to play, and some great goals scored. So really happy with kind of the opening game. Obviously, we would have loved to be able to finish it. We look forward to hopefully having the opportunity to finish the game. Yeah, and then moving on to Sunday against Metro, I think Metro did a really good job of making it difficult for us. I thought we did a good job ourselves of getting on top of the game early, but then just kind of took our foot off and allowed them to get back into the game. And like I said, they did a really good job. So definitely some areas that we want to look to improve upon, just like every weekend, or after every weekend. Always some things that we can do better, and hopefully we'll work on those this week and take some positive steps going into this next weekend.
Yeah, looking at Friday night, you guys did have the 2 goals scored before we went into a lot of those delays and whatnot. But then you were able to come out and score right away. I know last year there was a lightning delay at Pueblo, and you guys came out, same thing, scored a goal probably in the first 90 seconds. Is there like a switch or a tactic you have going with those lightning delays to kind of make sure the guys are essentially prepared right out of the locker room?
Yeah, I think it's just something that we preach to the group in those moments. Like, it's an easy time to kind of switch off, and for us to stay engaged and to be ready to, as soon as the whistle blows, be ready to get after it, I think is an important piece for us that we've talked about, and the guys have done a really good job of being prepared in those moments.
Yeah. Mathias, for you, earlier in the day the women's match was going to play, then it got canceled. We talked about a later start for the men's game, then it was almost right on time to a standpoint. What was it like for you as a player to kind of go through your first big weather delay and stay focused?
It's a big shift, more because I come from Costa Rica and we don't have that delays, but we were concentrated. Like, every piece of delay, like when the women's match got canceled, we were looking forward to play, and when Mr. Obi told us we could play, we obviously wanted to go forward and win the match.
Coach, jumping ahead to Sunday, like you said, MSU Denver did a good job of just making things tough. I thought especially at the midfield, they seemed to play well. They were really pressing you guys a lot more than maybe some other teams have so far this year. Was it, a formational difference? Was it just the guys, them coming out with a little bit more energy? What did they kind of do that made it a little bit more difficult?
I always like to kind of look at us and see how we can solve the problem. I think every team's gonna give different problems, and it's up to us to find the solutions. I think just some areas, and we just kind of had this conversation off camera, but different ways that we could have solved the problem. I think the solutions were there for us. We just need to do a better job of identifying those and executing those. So, like we said, we'll look at those and try to solve those problems this week and find different solutions, and hopefully we can do a better job this weekend.
Yeah, 6-hour road trip. You got plenty of time to look at film and have the guys analyze. Mathias, back to you. Starting earlier the year, you came off the bench, had some quality minutes, and then the last 4 or 5 games or so, you've been in that starting lineup at center back. How has the transition been for you? Do you feel confident in the back line? Does it kind of make you feel better about yourself, knowing that you've earned that starting role, kind of moving into conference play?
Yeah, I've worked pretty hard. My teammates also have encouraged me. They've been my backbone, giving me confidence. I think starting in the bench, I can feel what others feel in the bench and see how I want to be seen in the field, and that makes me feel like valuable for the team and makes me want to give everything from myself for the team.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. A lot of good camaraderie in the locker room. You never know when you get a lot of new guys and you're throwing together a new lineup how they're going to mesh, but it seems like things are going good so far. How do you feel about the upcoming road trip to Utah and Colorado Mesa? You get to see a few new places.
Yeah, I get to see new places from United States. This year has been pretty crazy, but I'm looking forward for those two matches. We obviously want to get the result we want, and I hope we will.
Good. Yeah. How's kind of focusing less on soccer, more on life? How's Durango been for you? You got to experience some beautiful days like this, and then some not so good ones with the lightning like last Friday.
I'm pretty happy with it. I love the view. I love Durango. I pretty much like Fort Lewis, and I'm pretty happy to be here.
How's school going so far? Do you have a major in mind or something you want to study yet?
I'm majoring in computer information systems. I want to specialize in cybersecurity.
Oh wow, awesome.
But by far, it's pretty good.
So far so good.
Yeah.
This weekend, taking on Westminster under the lights at 7 o'clock on Friday, and then Colorado Mesa at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Is there a certain goal or a certain area that you'd like to see this team kind of grow into through this upcoming week?
Yeah, I think for us as a team, our goal is to have six points on the weekend. We also know that Westminster and Mesa are both very capable, really good teams. So we know we're going to have to bring our best effort, really strong performances in both games. So like we said, certain things that from this past weekend that we can learn from and hope to improve. Certain things that I think we're doing quite well and want to continue. So just want to make sure that we're putting two really strong team performances together Friday night and Sunday afternoon, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, best of luck as always. We'll go ahead and close it out there. For the fans at home, you can catch all the action on the RMAC network. Again, that's Westminster on Friday at 7 o'clock in Salt Lake City, and then Colorado Mesa on Sunday at 2 o'clock. If you're in the area, please come out and support. Should be a couple of exciting matches. But as always, thanks for joining us.